I want to say thank you to you guys because, you know, I've been through different iterations of this show. I've hosted with different people. And looking back, that really has been brought home. But it's been so wonderful to go down with the ship and to have you guys on it because it means I've got to have new colleagues, new friends that I just never wouldn't have imagined that was going to happen. It just felt like it would be the same thing. And it's been the most delightful coda to an extraordinary experience. Thank you so much.
Am I the propeller guy? Am I the propeller guy on the Titanic?
No, we're in the band. We're playing.
Probably not the best metaphor I could have chosen. I guess, so now it's going to be me that has to do this, is it?
Yep. Well, mate, I volunteered, but you saw what happened before, so...
All right, I suspect I'm the only one left that's not actually drunk by now, so I will... that's designated driver of commercial TV. All right. How do you do this? Look, at the risk of being obscure, I'd like to begin by quoting a promising playwright from England who wrote, "To be or not to be, that is the question." Well, finally, Channel 10 gave an answer. No, not to be, hand in your pass. So I guess it's time to say goodbye, and I'll try to do it without any names because this is really about all of us. 16 years ago, some outstandingly creative people began an audacious TV experiment. Could you straddle the worlds of news, popular culture and comedy in a single show, a single segment, a single moment? Could you create a world where Will Ferrell can interview the Prime Minister? It's not the done thing. Could you cover everything from wars and revolutions to Kim Kardashian breaking the internet to the latest developments in Qantas customer service? Carrie, that's how you say it. Could you do that in the space of 5 minutes? It's not the done thing. Could you do a primetime commercial news show that hooked its audience by playing with them instead of scaring them, that didn't trade on demonising groups of people who have no platform to respond? It's not the done thing. Well, we done the thing. And according to everyone involved, it started terribly. It wasn't meant to survive 6 months, but it did. Then it stabilised, then it thrived, then it soared. And the little show that could became the landmark show that did. And that is a miracle. And maybe miracles aren't meant to be explained, but maybe this one can be. And maybe the clue is that nothing like this show exists anywhere in the world, as our international guests would constantly tell us when they came in. And that's because I think this show reflected the best of this country. It was irreverent. It knew when things were serious, but it refused ever to take itself that way. It always gave its best, but it never presumed to think it was doing everything right. For God's sake, the show's name is The Project. It's never finished. And it reflected our lives. You know, you love, you cry, you get things wrong, you laugh, and you do all these things all at once, not in isolation, because that's life. Often we are laughing despite the tragedy around us. It's release and escape, and especially its connection. Sometimes someone farts at a funeral. That's what happens. That is real. That is real. So thank you. Thanks to the people who built this from nothing, the people who made this show 4,504 times on camera and off. People long gone and here today, every one of you, indispensable. Thank you to our guests over the years, those who came to play or to persuade, and to those who came on to be challenged and meet us in the great public square of our lives, who disagreed with us in good faith over the years. Thank you so much. You made us better. And thank you at home. The cliched thing would be to say thank you so much for the extraordinary privilege of letting us into your living rooms for so many years. But the cliche is inadequate. Instead, thanks for letting us into your hearts. Because if there's one thing this show did above all other things, it's that it went to people's hearts. No show I know of has a relationship this deep with its viewers. You're the reason the show existed. You're the reason this moment is so hard. TV's a meeting place, and this was the most extraordinary gathering. I guess I'll survive. I guess I'm meant to say that we'll meet again. But the truth is we won't. Not in this combination. This impossible show and the people who gathered around it is unlike anything that came before it, and nothing like it will exist again. This show brought people together with sometimes very little in common and made them long-term friends. It showed what can happen when we open our hearts to each other in good faith. And if we decide that bit, that can exist forever. And that is something to celebrate.
We're breaking shit.
We just started smashing the crockery. On that note, thanks so much for having us.